Hello there, friends. It has been a while. I spent my holiday playing World of Warcraft Season of Discovery. Now, everyone's made a video on it, but after playing and having such a good time, I felt a strain to hold back my opinion, much like my pants fighting under the weight of viewing Astolfo Rule 34. So I had to burst forth and tell you why I had a good time. This will not be exhaustive, but it will just be some of the things that I noticed about why it was so fun. Now, chances are you've already played, and so anything I say will be something you already know, but I'm going to talk anyways as if I'm some sort of cool influencer. You know, fake it till you make it. Live the delusion. So with that in mind, I went into this because I have been wanting to play an MMO for quite a while, but you know, there isn't a whole lot on the market. I've played Guild Wars and lived that to the end. I've played Final Fantasy XIV and ERP'd that to the end. And I've played most of World of Warcraft, and, well, I'm gonna be real, modern WoW is a bit too scaly for me right now. Though, I can admit that the modern graphics and models are pretty nice. There's something to be said for those assets. But classic WoW, well, that's the MMO experience that got most people into MMOs. And while there's a discussion to be had of MMOs as everyone wanted to be World of Warcraft, classic is still classic. Vanilla was a good time, and I've enjoyed classic myself. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and there are quality of life changes that I think everyone misses. Season of Discovery addresses many of these problems, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. We gamers, we don't like to admit it, lest our gamer cred come into question for liking anything new. But while some Nurgle worshippers might have said no changes, we all know the truth. We really wanted mostly no changes, but with some changes that improve the quality of life. And those improvements have greatly increased my enjoyment of the game. Rogue tanking, mage healing, and paladins having something to do other than auto attack and tab out to look at porn until they move on to the next thing. But besides the new abilities, which are great, the thing that I found particularly surprising to have a positive effect on the game was the level cap. With the level cap being at 25 at the time of recording this video, the world is a lot more lively at low levels, and low-level gear actually has value. The economy is alive, and much like how I was at 25, everyone is more active and interested in socializing. It's really improved the overall roleplay experience. While soon the cap will be increased to 40 in Phase 2, which, much like a night with the boys, will widen the gap, it's a very small change that had a pretty big effect on the experience. I often feel that modern MMOs don't capture that same feeling of adventure that older ones do. They tend to have much better quality of life, but the stories drag on and are focused heavily on the idea of my character being the guy. As much as I love being the center of attention, ladies, I enjoy setting out as my character and living out my own adventure without the stipulations or dogma of being the great hero.
This is what an am should smell like.
There have been some interesting games with great concepts behind them, but you know, at the end of the day, they're all PvP focused or in eternal development hell, making it hard to find a good game where my friends can get into voice chat and I force them to run me through dungeons as my personal loot slaves.
Back again with another episode of How to Train My Pay Pig. Say hi, Stacy.
Hey.
Now, don't get me wrong, it's still classic WoW. You still need 500 pig anuses, and not every pig has an anus, which is made worse by the fact that they only drop one at a time, and I need to share those anuses with the group of prostitutes I hired to play with me, because I'm lonely. This is why I think more developers should look back on older games and ask, why were they popular? People enjoy the game being a bit harder, a bit slower, like good BDSM roleplay.
Deep, dark fantasies.
But they want bad old mechanics to be improved. Things like positive class tweaks that we've already seen, or fixing quests to be a little bit more forgiving for playing with friends, like I complained about a minute ago, but without removing those core things we enjoyed. MMOs are kind of like drinking vodka. Do you think I came here for the taste? I enjoy drinking vodka to make terrible decisions in voice chat. not because it tastes good. So when someone says, here, I mixed it with orange juice, I'm quite happy. This is a quality of life improvement. But later, they just give me a juice box, and while juice is delicious, I am now more conscious of the fact that the person I'm ERPing with is a man in real life. So please don't remove the vodka. My point here is that harsher thing that we experienced was still pleasurable, even though it was harsh. And the orange juice, the quality of life, was added to make it taste better while still giving us that experience we were looking for. When you remove the vodka, i.e. the difficulty or the harshness, you end up with a very sweet but otherwise hollow experience. And this is why people flocked to Classic, because they wanted that older, slightly tougher, slightly slower, slightly more annoying experience. Which is why a lot of the positive changes in Season of Discovery are so well liked. When I think about game development, one example of something I think is a delicate balancing act, but oh so important, is travel time. Older MMOs had you running for a very long time, just to get to any destination, dying along the way, making it even worse. But modern MMOs often use extreme fast travel, like teleporting in Final Fantasy XIV. It's convenient, yes, but the world always feels so much smaller because of it. Why take the boat anywhere if I can just teleport? Sure, you've got to get there once, but after that, never again, you can just teleport there. WoW has flight paths, of course, but there's still travel time to it, and you see the world passing by, and you still need boats and zeppelins here and there. I just need the trip to be short enough to avoid frustration, but long enough to rub one out. And for the most part, Season of Discovery does that. Is it perfect? No, but I hope that anyone playing it who might ever have the opportunity to be a decision maker on a project like this themselves can look at this and see these things that were so valuable. Why does it work? Is it just nostalgia? Well, to some degree, yes. Nostalgia is powerful, and it convinces us that old things are still good, like World of Warcraft, or my childhood. But there is something there, something else that is missing in other games, that just like my dad leaving to get milk 20 years ago, I'd like to see come back. There are, of course, lots of other things I could cover, and I could create a 2-hour-long video about everything that's good, but I'm not very good at the long-form video essay format, and I think I'd rather just stay in my lane. So I will continue to play this game until I inevitably burn out and play something else that inspires me to spit out some brain goop in another video. But in the meantime, I hope you have fun as much as I have. Thank you for watching, and I'll smell you next time.